गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी। बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मुहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवारि सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता बन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सब भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कभी कोविद कही सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपत दीना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपद तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अद्ध काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंदी महासुख होय। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। कीजय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण, जय श्री राम। We are in the first chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and currently we have reached verse number 42. And the first chapter is Arjun Vishadh Yoga. And I feel it is one of the most important chapters of Gita. Unless and until we introspect and understand what the problem is, will we be able to find the solution? If we are in denial of a problem, if we are in denial of a tendency, will we be able to overcome it? No. That is the condition with most of us. We are in denial. And then we look around for solutions, not knowing the problem. And this first chapter is a chapter of introspection. What is Gita? Gita is a manual, isn't it? It's a manual of human existence. It's a manual of how we should live our lives. We may vehemently deny it, we may call it primitive, but unfortunately that's not true. Gita is as applicable today as it was yesterday, or it will be tomorrow. Our scriptures are as useful today, as relevant today, as they were yesterday, thousands of years back, or thousands of years to come. These are eternal scriptures. These are alive. It's unfortunate that we consider them myths, we consider them primitive, we do not want to imbibe any of their values, and many of the times we discard them, saying these are useless. Right? Is it right? Our scriptures, our value, our culture is all in it. Yet, we find it very difficult to open them, read them, understand. And then we all have Vishadh, grief, sorrow, agony in our lives. And when that happens, we do not know where to go. We run helter-skelter like headless chickens. But then we do not know the solution. We do not want to turn inwards. We do not want to turn to the scriptures. We do not want to turn to God. That is the only difference between Arjun and us. We have grief, he has grief. We have problems, he has problems. He is delusioned, we are delusioned. The difference is he turned to the scriptures. He turned to God. He turned to the basic fundamental reason for our existence. And we look outward, we look around, and never towards the Lord. His grief, his agony, his Vishadh will lead to enlightenment. And our agony, our grief, our Vishads takes us to the deepest of pits. That is the difference between an Arjun and me. The direction, the company, and the belief. Arjun is questioning over here, but with an intent to know, not with an intent to scrutinize or judge or disagree. And when the intention is pure, the Lord answers the prayers. In Geeta, Sri Krishna himself is answering the prayers, answering and solving his doubts patiently, bit by bit. Arjun has opened this beautiful door for us. Let's immerse in it with full faith that every word of Geeta is true, is essential, is relevant. And only then will Krishna start talking to us. हम बोलते हैं ना, प्रभु है या नहीं है? प्रभु तो है, आपकी दृष्टि में खोट है. Your vision is faulty. He's here, he's there, ever ready to answer our questions. It was not favoritism that he answered Arjun and he won't answer us. But आप अर्जुन की तरह पूछ के देखिए. Ask like Meera, seek like Meera, wait like Shabri, believe like Hanuman, and Prabhu will come running. But we desire the world, right? We desire Maya. We don't desire Mayapati. We do not desire the Lord. We want from the Lord. Arjun does not want anything from the Lord. He chose Krishna. He had a choice, right? Krishna said, what do you want? You want my Sena, my army, or you want me? And I will come without anything. I won't even fight. I won't even pick up any weapons. Yet, Arjun chose Sri Krishna. And we all know what happened at the end. Duryodhan chose the army. आपके पास सब कुछ ही क्यों ना हो, अगर प्रभु आपके जीवन में नहीं है तो सब व्यर्थ ही तो है. And all through his agony, the only person he is addressing again and again and again and again is Sri Krishna. Rishikesh, Madhusudan, O Krishna, suno. Start addressing the Lord. Start looking for your answers in the scriptures. This is the truth. Have faith. And if we don't have faith in our scriptures, we don't have faith in our culture, we don't have faith in our dharma, how can we expect the generations to come to respect this divine knowledge? We ask for proof. Proof is mentioned. We ask for nakshatras and compare the dates. It is mentioned. There is proof they walked the earth. There is proof that this has happened. There is proof that this is Sanatan. What more do we want? And the biggest proof will come to you when you blindly walk the path. Arre chalke to dekho. We have tried everything in this world. Let's try walking on the path. Let's try the route our scriptures are showing us. And let's see what happens. And that is what Arjun has chosen. He said, everything else I've done, right? Now let me see what Sri Krishna has to say. In verse number 42, again, he is agonized. He does not want to fight the battle, isn't it? And with just the company of the Lord, his arguments are evolving. From my family to the generations to come to dharma. Suddenly his heart is expanding. He is moving beyond the boundaries of his current family. He is moving beyond the boundaries of his immediate ancestors. He is now thinking from the dharmic point of view. अभी तक तो श्री कृष्ण कुछ बोले ही नहीं है. फिर भी just by his mere presence, his heart is expanding. He's realizing it is not only the Pandavas that abide, even the Kauravas abide, the generation to come abide, the entire dharma is my responsibility, and his arguments are getting more refined. They are losing the selfish tint. They're losing it, and they are becoming global. See, many a times we seek the Lord for us, right? मेरे को ये मिल जाए, मेरे को वो मिल जाए, may my child get the best of marks, may my father's illness become better, or may my relative who's in the hospital get better, or my dear Lord, I hope, even if you go to more mundane things, I hope I'm able to get an increment or a bigger house or a bigger car. We seek from the Lord. We want from the Lord. How many times do we go and tell the Lord, Prabhu, you take whatever you want. Everything is yours. But Prabhu, give me bhakti. Prabhu, give me darshan. Prabhu, I want you. Right? And Prabhu is also very smart. He gives us riddhi, siddhi, samriddhi. He gives us parivar. He gives us love. He gives us everything so that we forget him. But there are some who have, after, in spite of everything that the Lord tries to lure them away with, still turned to the Lord and said, प्रभु मैं तेरी बातों में नहीं आने वाला. ये जो खिलौने आप मेरी तरफ फेंक रहे हो ना, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. मुझे तो प्रभु तू चाहिए. अर्जुन ने भी यही बोला, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मुझे कृष्ण चाहिए. And जब he chose Krishna over everything else, it is Krishna's responsibility, it's Krishna's duty to solve every problem of his. And that is what Krishna will do. Problem का मतलब ये नहीं कि you would not have these materialistic problems, but that internal turmoil is going to end. No matter what the situation outside, the person who has surrendered to the Lord is always blissful, because he has faith that my Krishna, my Lord, is in control. Arjun is going through a lot of grief right now, but he has one faith that my Krishna will give me the solution. My Krishna knows. That is why again and again, Rishikesh, Are Madhusudan, Are Krishna, Suno to. Asking questions from the Lord is not wrong, but doubting the Lord is wrong. आप पूछिए ना जितने पूछने. All our scriptures are based on question answers. We encourage curiosity, we encourage questions, but with an open mind. Don't come and listen to the scriptures to scrutinize. Don't come with a doubt. Come with an open mind to understand. इतने जमाने से हमारे ऋषि मुनि क्या यही बोल रहे हैं, गलत बोल रहे हैं? If we, Sanatan Dharmis, start doubting our scriptures, our dharma, then how can we expect any respect from anybody else? And today's verse number 42, is talking about exactly that. Now over here, Arjun says, Shankaro narka yeva, Shankaro narka yeva, kuladdanam kulasya cha. Shankaro narka yeva, kuladdanam kulasya cha. Patanti pitro hesham, lupta pindo dakakriyaha. अरे हे शाम, धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा, धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा, धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा. हमारा धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा, सनातन धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा. That is what he is shouting out. अरे कृष्ण बचा लो, सनातन धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा, हमारा धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा. That is what he is saying. Then you'll say, he's saying the right thing. He predicted it probably long back कि हमारा धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा. And he's saying, जो, if we go on like this, if a battle happens and so many people are killed, right? And the upholders of dharma, we discussed it in the last stanza, that the upholders of dharma, the stri, the mata, who pass values and culture from, who are supposed to pass, I should say, values and culture from one generation to the other generation, if they stop doing it, the coming generation will be deluded. The coming generation would be polluted. The coming generation would not uphold our dharma. This prachin sanatan dharma, this culture of ours will be lost. And the person who becomes the cause of the downfall of dharma goes to hell. Mind it. The person who becomes the cause of the downfall of our dharma goes to hell. Or the generation that will be coming because of this thought process which is admixtured, because the mothers are not telling the children what is the right culture and what is the right dharma. They are deluded themselves, and the generation who will come will be deluded. The dharma will be lost because of who? Because of me. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to be the one who causes the downfall of Sanatan Dharma. कुल का नाश हो जाएगा. Every kul. See, I'm not against what is happening right now. ठीक है, जो हो रहा है. But haven't we seen every household as a certain culture in them, right? They have a certain way of doing things. Every kul also, an extended thing, like people belonging from a certain place or people belonging from a certain surname or certain, I don't want to use the word caste because it is looked at very demeaningly. The word has been twisted and turned so much. Different words. Okay, within the word also, different groups, they have certain cultural values. So much so that each family has a Kul Devi also. We all have Kul Devis, right? We all have traditions that we follow. And these traditions are our responsibility. We are supposed to pass them from one generation to another generation. But suppose the person who is responsible to pass, who has the knowledge of the culture, is destroyed. What will happen? The knowledge will go away, right? The traditions will vanish. And when the cultural value and the tradition vanish, what is left? A lost society, and we see it. I have to choose my words very carefully. But in the name of being liberal, we are lost. We don't realize that we are Sanatan Dharmis. We don't realize that our culture, our dharma says, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. ये सारा जो दुनिया है ना, वो हमारा कुटुंब है. This is the basis of our scriptures, our dharma. But saying that we are liberal, we are ridiculing our scriptures. How many have even picked them up to see what they are saying? सुनी सुनाई बात लोगों ने कह दिया, and we say सब बंकस बकवास. क्यों? अब now he's saying यही होने वाला है. और I, Arjun, who is the cause of the war, we are going to go to hell because सनातन धर्म का पतन हो जाएगा. Arjun does not know कि पतन तो हो ही गया है जी. With or without the war, downfall has come. Over here, Gurudev, Chinmaya Gurudev, beautifully writes, each generation passes down the torch of its culture to the next generation, its children, and it is for them to preserve, tend and nourish that torch and hand it over carefully to the succeeding generation, if not more, at least no less bright than when they got it. In India, the sages discovered and initiated the culture that is spiritual, and the spiritual culture is maintained and worked out through religious practices. And therefore, culture and religion are to the Hindus one and the same. And what are we doing right now? Ridiculing it. Over here he says, and this kind of a degradation will happen. There will be nobody to give pindadan to the pitra. He's worried about the ancestors now. Look at Arjun. Look at the beautiful expansion of his heart that has happened just because Krishna is with him. From me, mine, you, yours, to now he's thinking about his ancestors also. He's saying when this kind of a dharma is, the depletion of this kind of a dharma happens, people are not even going to give pind to their pitras. Abhi shraadh chal rahe hai. By chance. How many of us make an effort and know the rituals of shraadh? How many of us think about our ancestors? How many of us believe that we are a sum total of what they have given us? Ancestors, lineage. If you go to Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, lineages are mentioned. Because if Ram became Ram, or Shri Krishna became Shri Krishna, it was because of their ancestors, their tap, their puja. What we are today is because of what they did. Not our grandfather, not our great-grandfather, not only our great-great-great-grandfather. Go beyond. Everybody has contributed to make us what we are. And we, in our culture, respect that. In fact, we also believe that if there is something missing, if they are not peaceful, we won't be peaceful. We have the power to give them peace. We believe there is a Pitralok. Bhur Bhua Swaha. That Bhua is Pitralok. So when our ancestors, somebody departs, he might go to Pitralok depending on his punya, or he might go to Swarglok depending on his punya, or the sages go beyond. There are 7 lokas above and 7 lokas below, isn't it? So one of them is Pitralok. What is Pitra? The departed ancestors. Now Arjun over here is saying, Patanti Pitro he Sham Lupta Pindo the Kakriyaha. पिंड दान करना बंद कर देंगे तो हमारे एंसेस्टर्स का क्या होगा? Beautiful, isn't it? They don't even only think of, he's not only thinking about the living, he's thinking about the dead. And we'll say क्या फर्क पड़ता है? सब अंधविश्वास है, अंधविश्वास नहीं है. There's a beautiful story about Gaya also, right? We all, in our lifetime, at least once go to Gaya and do pind daan. We owe it to our ancestors. And if we have this knowledge, just think about it. If we think now that we are answerable to our ancestors, right? Our behavior today impacts them, and their behavior that time is impacting us. Today, how I behave is going to impact the generations to come. Won't you be careful in your behavior? Won't you be careful? Maybe generations down the line will have to pay for your sins. Won't you be careful? We don't think like that, right? We think this jan, this me, that is it, full stop. मेरे आगे भी कुछ नहीं, मेरे पीछे भी कुछ नहीं. सनातन धर्म ऐसी बातें नहीं करता. They think about the ancestors and they think about the future generations also. Because we are all connected in a chain. What they did is impacting me, and what I do today is going to impact the generations to come. Doesn't it make you more responsible? If we think like that, so Arjun is worried. What will happen to our ancestors? If the generation becomes so deluded, they do not know what the cultural values are, they do not follow the dharma. There is one. Dharma is, what is dharma? Dharma is, what is our dharma? If we go at a very big level, at that divine level, my dharma is being Sat Chit Anand, right? That is my dharma. Just like the dharma of sugar, is to be sweet, my dharma is to be an Anand, because I am Satchit Anand. I am truth, I am consciousness, and I am bliss, or I am true bliss always. That is my dharma. And when I am truth, I am blissful, I am conscious, I cannot do any wrong. For me, everybody is Satchidanand. I am responsible for everybody. I have to think, I have to support everybody. That is my first dharma. See, saying they won't remember that they are Satchidanand Swaroop. And then there is a Kul dharma. Every community has their own dharma. Every person has a own dharma. First dharma, Satchidanand Swaroop. Now I am a mother, so I have a Matra dharma. And I have a dharma towards my children. I have a wife, I have a dharma as a wife. I have a daughter, I have a dharma as a daughter. We are bound by dharmas, we have rules. But it is all in that big set. I am Satchit Anand Swaroop. I am bliss, I am truth, I am consciousness, I am loving. And then I have my own dharma of the community. I have my own dharma as a person. And it is important to follow the decorum of my dharma. Just imagine, what happens when the sea forgets its dharma? Tsunami happens, right? It's chaos, it's disaster. What happens when the air and the winds forget their dharma? Cyclones happen. What happens when the river forgets its dharma? Floods happen. When the nature forgets its dharma, we suffer. We are also but a part of nature. How oblivious are we of our dharma? And anybody who follows dharma is considered old-fashioned, primitive. ये ग्रंथों में मत जाओ अभी, बुढ़ापे में जाना. गीता is your human manual. जब घिस जाओगे, कुछ बचेगा नहीं, फिर गीता पढ़ के क्या करोगे? When should you start reading Gita? When should you start reading your scriptures? When should you follow them? The day you are born or before that also. In our scriptures, when the baby is in the womb, we are supposed to start reading. It is never too early. Even now it is late. So he's worried. They won't know what dharma is. If they don't know what dharma is, they will forget that we have to take care of our pitras also. अभी श्राद्ध चल रहे हैं. पितृ लोक पे हमारे पितृ है. Our ancestors. They are looking down on us. Not looking down. Probably they are looking down also. But from there they are looking and seeing whether we really care. And it is only not in the Sanatana Dharma. Many other dharmas talk about ancestors being there, watching over us. There is a lok. Go around, read. And as a grihast, we cannot forget our grihasti dharma also. We are all grihast, right? Householders. Householders also have laws. We are governed by laws. We are answerable to a lot of community. But वो बात अलग है, as Arjun is shouting, धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा, धर्म नष्ट हो जाएगा, इन लोगों को कुछ पता ही नहीं होगा, हम लोगों को कुछ पता ही नहीं है. As a grihast, I am answerable to the devs sitting in Swarglok. I am answerable to the pitra sitting in the pitralok. I am answerable and responsible to fellow human beings. I am answerable and responsible to the living and the unliving. I am answerable and responsible for the plants and the animals. As a grihast, I am answerable and responsible for the sannyasis. I am responsible for the brahmacharis. I am responsible for the vanaprasthis. I am responsible for the temples. I am responsible for the sages. My responsibility as a grihast is massive. The right of my income, the right of what I'm earning is rightfully divided between the devas, the pitras, the living, the non-living, the generations to come, plants, temples, sages, other ashrams. But what has happened? As Arjun said, धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा, धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा, धर्म लुप्त हो जाएगा, धर्म लुप्त हो गया. Today we don't believe in Shrads, we don't believe in Pitra, we don't believe in Pitradosh, we don't believe in anything. Our existence ends and begins with us. Even the most educated, so-called educated people. What is education? Math, science, physics. Ever changing. The laws that are applicable today won't be applicable tomorrow. In our culture, there used to be gurukuls. That is what he's saying. If children don't go to gurukuls because of this war, the family structure will get destroyed. The kul dharma will be lost. There won't be, the people will be so confused. There will be an admixture of cultures. They would not know what is right, what is wrong. They would even forget their ancestors. In our culture, there used to be gurukuls, where not only material knowledge, but spiritual knowledge was also given. Nowadays, spiritual knowledge is considered useless. And when you ask people, I am good, what is your definition of good? There has to be a definition, right? Are you standing up to the goodness you think you are in as per the scriptures? Our scriptures tell us पत्नी धर्म क्या है, पति धर्म क्या है, गृहस्थी का धर्म क्या है, बच्चों का धर्म क्या है, ब्रह्मचर्य का धर्म क्या है, सन्यासी का धर्म क्या है. It is said, we have forgotten all our dharms, and that is what is worrying him. He said, ये धर्म ही नष्ट हो गया. पितरों का क्या होगा? What will happen to our ancestors when we have such a confused generation? And now we'll say, what can we do for the ancestors? Of course we can. Our scriptures tell us that if one saint, not a sannyasi, this is a notion that we all have to remove from our minds. Clothes don't determine who you are. A person in saffron, a person in white, a person in jeans does not matter. A liberated soul, they say, not a sannyasi. A liberated soul, one soul liberated. Suppose today one person gets liberated or reaches the Lord, जिसको प्रभु प्राप्त हो जाते हैं, lead हो जाता है. With him, he not only liberates himself, he liberates, some say 21, some say 30 generations ahead, that is ancestors, and 30 generations below, that is descendants. 60 generations are liberated because of one person who is able to attain the Lord. Wow. What responsibility. If my ancestors are suffering, I can liberate them. I can make sure the future of my children and their children is secure if my karmas are dharmic. But for that, as Arjun said, पता तो होना चाहिए ना कि धर्म क्या है. Some don't know, some don't want to know. Or I say most don't know and most don't want to know. माया है. So संग करो नरकायेव. Or and the person who does not uphold dharma, who stops the chain of dharma and knowledge being passed to the next generation, no matter what, will go to hell. This is his worry, and it's a very valid worry. This is what is happening even right now. कुरुक्षेत्र में युद्ध तब नहीं, अभी भी हो रहा है. धर्म लुप्त हो रहा है, धर्म लुप्त हो रहा है, धर्म लुप्त हो रहा है. Many may argue, what pitra, what ancestors, what nonsense. No, it's not nonsense. The problem is, we see the world from the gross perspective. Anything tangible exists, anything intangible does not exist. If I can touch and feel, it is. But if I can't touch and feel, it's not. Many times children ask, कि when we offer bhog to our gods in the mandir, the laddus are still there. How is it that he has eaten? Tell the children that there is this sukshma. We are also gross, and then there is something which is not gross in us also. And the food also has gross levels and sukshma levels. Divine entities take the sukshma prasad. Just because the laddu is present, that does not mean our bhog, our nivedya has not been accepted. In the same way, when we are doing pindadan in Gaya, or any place when we are thinking about the ancestors with all our heart and praying and offering them something, it reaches them. How? Sukshma roop se. Gross nahi, sukshma roop se. वो पहुंचता है. When you sit here and you really, really pray, doesn't your prayer reach God? Does your prayer have a body? Is your prayer physical in nature? No. Sometimes telepathy भी होती है ना. Oh, I was just thinking about you and you called. Sukshma. There is a great detail in this kind of, I'm touching it very, very subtly, very, very superficially. I'm telling you, everything is not gross. There is so much of subtlety in this world. And not only this, when we are offering prayers to the Dev, or right now Shraddhas are going on, when we are offering food to the Brahmins, or food to the cow, or food to the crow, have this faith and belief and reverence for your ancestors. And then give it. आजकल हाँ भाई श्राद्ध है, काम पूरा करना है. क्यों? Everything that you possess is part of their punya also. We are nothing but them. And we have forgotten them. Lineage, lineage, lineage. Our scripture always mention the entire lineage because yes, everything that is today, everything I am is because of my ancestors. If there is suffering in my life, it could be a result of them also, and which can be solved. They could have done certain pap. They could have nurtured certain vices which my punya can help overcome. We are all linked. If one liberated soul can liberate 30 generations ahead and 30 generations below, ancestors and descendants, how much power do we have? Again and again we mention, मनुष्य में इतनी ताकत है, मनुष्य में इतनी शक्ति है. What do? We forget our responsibility. Why do we forget our responsibility? क्योंकि कुलग्नानां कुलस्य पतन्ति पितरो हेषां लुप्तपिण्डो न क्रियः. सारा धर्म नष्ट हो गया. Today we educate our children, isn't it? We give them the best of education. And just for marks, we ask them to take French or Spanish or Germany. If the language is lost, the culture is lost. जब वो हिंदी पढ़ ही नहीं पाएगा, देवनागरी पढ़ ही नहीं पाएगा, तो ग्रंथ क्या उठाएगा? No matter how much you translate these scriptures, what is written in Sanskrit cannot be translated. The justice cannot be done in Hindi, and what is written in Sanskrit, definitely the justice cannot be done in English. You are taking away the language from a child. संस्कृत खत्म तो हमारा धर्म खत्म. काफ़ी तो पहले बहुत जला दिया. Nalanda burned for 3 months, unend. So many of our university books, knowledge was burnt and destroyed. Whatever little we have left is also being destroyed by us ourselves. Why? If we keep them wrapped around in an orange cloth in some sacred corner and put our head on it, क्या होगा? And then we say, in our Sanatan Dharma, these kind of rules are not there. किसने बोला? आपको पता है क्या? नहीं पता. क्यों नहीं पता? लुप्त हो गया धर्म. धर्म लुप्त हो गया. We are not holding the torch. We are not showing the light. We are giving birth to generations who are going to be deluded, not knowing what their foundation is, not knowing where they come from. If we don't teach them dharma today, how will they uphold our dharma? It will be lost. And that is what Arjun is weeping about. And when we forget our dharma, not only our descendants, our ancestors also suffer. All these rituals that we do, the religion, the culture, is all intertwined. Because Sanatana Dharma is a way of life. This is our culture. Sanatana Dharma, our scriptures, the narration, the rituals, they are our culture. All scientific. We discard them because we do not know. We discard them because we do not have that aptitude to understand. अरे भाई aptitude नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं. Don't be foolish and say it is useless. Follow it. नहीं, but we are modern people, modern generation. हमने ना बोलना तो बदल ही लिया है. Our words have changed. We do not know our language. We can't read our language. We do not even want to know our culture. We do not even want to follow our scriptures. We are actually what Arjun is talking about. A generation of lost people. The most deluded, downtrodden of the lot. Ignorant to the T. And that is what Arjun fears here. Hare Krishna, ये हो जाएगा. क्या होगा? क्या होगा फिर? Beautiful. We have to give it a lot of thought. What I would request you today is, Shraddh are going on, right? 2nd September Shraddh started. And now that this verse is so deeply emphasizing on our ancestors, let's at least find out what Pitra are, what Pitra Lok is. What kind of upchars can we do? What kind of offerings should we make? What is the process? How can we actually uplift our ancestors? They depend on us. Let's research. Let's find out. That is what I did yesterday. I read. It makes sense. Even now, it's not too late. I don't think we should let our culture go. So in this verse, he's saying, when a generation of deluded people with no thought process, no cultural backing, no dharmic shiksha, no knowledge of the scriptures, no knowledge of the culture and traditions of the family are born, they will be deluded. They would not only cause the downfall of themselves and the descendants, but even the ancestors will suffer because of such a horrible, rotten generation. Oh Krishna, and the person me who is responsible for this is going to go to hell, because any person who stops the flow of dharma, to the coming generations is destined to go to hell. Krishna, Krishna, please help. This is what Arjun is saying. Do mull over it. Think about it. There is another meaning also to the entire thing. But today, I would leave you with the thought of our Pitras, our ancestors, and a question: are you upholding dharma? Are you instrumental in passing the knowledge to the next generation? Or are you the one who he is talking about? The one who is hindering the flow of such beautiful knowledge and leaving the generations to come as ignorant and lost people. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. He Nath Narayan Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya. Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Ram Lakshman Janaki, Jai Bolo Hanuman की. बोलो बजरंग बली की जय. हे कृष्ण, हे गोविंद, हे दीनानाथ, मेरी डोरी अब तेरे हाथ, मेरी डोरी अब तेरे हाथ. जय कृष्ण, जय कृष्ण, जय कृष्ण.